Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video from the test server today. This is going to be the machine normal. As you can see, and from the first clip, from farming the bounty, that's fully geared. Now, the elite gear is 2 CR higher, it's 217 instead of 215. Obviously there's going to be the OP item, and the OP shoulders are going to be higher. They're going to be 222 instead of 217. So the max CR probably will be around 251, I'm guessing. 250, 251. But yeah, that's beside the point. This is going to be talking about the machine raid in general, my impressions of it, what I think needs to be changed. I haven't done Elite yet, so I can't really speak to what's completely different there. From what I hear from other people who tried it, the comments are pretty similar. But the concept of self of this raid is actually quite nice. It's one of those raids where you could spend, this run was like 22 minutes with some waiting. I think the video is going to be like 15 minutes, something. So it has the possibility of being quick. Mind you, most of the DPS in this group have already farmed the bounty, so we're sitting at, pretty high gear. So you won't be able to do this right off the bat. But what I was saying is, it's got the ability to be like a short, quick raid, or if you're not killing the mechanics or you're dying, it turns like a 20-minute raid into like, an hour and a half, 2 hours. I wouldn't say this is very pug friendly. We had no vocal communication at all, so it's not like we're coordinating or anything like that. But to sum it up, this raid is very similar, or not very similar, but it has mechanics. Think of it like a combination of Darkside War Factory and Ultimate Soldier. You'll see strafing runs from Ultimate Soldier. You'll see, like the boss come out and then you fight a bunch of ads, like the similar concept as of Ultimate Soldier. And then Darkside War Factory, you've got the multiple boss mechanics, as well as like the the ad spawns. What I find, there are like a lot of ads. I know it can turn into a bit boring. There's a few ads in general that stand out as a bit more annoying. There's the B-bot. I'm not sure if it just drops aggro all the time, but it'll follow you and stomp you. It hits for like 20k or so, and it can interrupt you as well. I had that follow me quite some times in this raid and some other attempts, and obviously the tanks pull like aggroing it. So I think it's just an aggro drop, or it's a a strict mechanic that is going to drop aggro and just seek a target and stomp them. Because even if I dodged and ran away, it still kind of semi-chased me a bit. So that's a bit annoying. You have the dive bombers, the dive bomber hives just from that hive alert, like way back in the day. They're going to dive bomb and interrupt you and stuff like that. There's the medics. I'm not sure in elite, but in normal, there's 2 medic spawns at once. And obviously, you've got to kill the medics so they can heal the rest. The issue with that is that at that time, there's like 6 to 12 ads around that. So you're tab targeting to try to find the medic, as well as you're splitting damage the entire time. So it's a bit annoying from that aspect, especially I can imagine in Elite, where you've got to focus on the medics or you're dead. In terms of the strafing run, it seems like it's actually improved a bit from Ultimate Soldier. Ultimate Soldier, like once you saw the strafing run animation, like you could still die from like 20 or 30 feet beside the strafing run. Like it wasn't very like tight. In terms of the damage spread, this strafing run seems very tight. I've stood like 5-6 feet away from it and not died, and you start to see some of the animation as it goes, and it's a bit slower. So it's not like if you see the animation go off, you still have a couple seconds to roll out of it. It's not like you're completely dead. So I think this strafing run itself is very good, and it's not as frequent as it is in USR. So I don't have an issue with the strafing run at all. And in terms of the boss mechanics, that's where I'm hoping in Elite they're a bit higher. Like a normal, you can largely ignore. Like we're running 2 healers, an earth tank, the DPS. I'm obviously Quantum. Mentor, I think, was munitions. I'm not sure what one was. Can I look quickly and kind of see him? I can't really tell. I'm sure you guys can see. Howl is a full prec electric melee DPS. Yeah, the only one I'm not sure about what one is. Oh, it looks like he's fire. Yeah, he's fire. So one is fire. So fire, quantum, munitions, and prec electric. Actually, it's like Mentor's prec munitions too. I can't remember if he switched to might or not. But yeah, that's besides the point. To me personally, I'm not sure about, like I said, I was not sure about Elite, but I think for normal specifically, I think they really need to tone up the boss mechanics in terms of like how strong the Hive Master is, how potent the boss mechanics are. Like you'll see right now, I'm not sure how synced the narration is, but around like the 530 mark, you see those swirls come out. Those are very annoying in normal, and I'm sure they are in Elite as well. Think of it like Bombshell Paradox. So what happens is those swirls are going to come across the map. You have to jump over them. I don't think you can, if you roll out of it, you could roll into another swirl, so it's not going to really help you. A, it stuns you and does like a burst damage tick for like, 18, 20k. The other issue is that if it hits you, it's going to put those like black holes on you, similar to like Bombshell Paradox, except there's no way to cleanse them. So if you get stuck in one of those orbs, they're going to do a damage over time on you, and if you die, then it's going to interfere with the rezzing because you're in that damage orb, and it's going to like stun them and kill them. So that's why, like, in this run here, no one really died to that. I'm not sure if the healers were probably aware of it and just popped a shield and stuff like that, but I could see that wiping a lot of pugs, because if you got 2 or 3 people down and they're in those orbs, it's going to be like a real stressor to get those reses. So that's actually an interesting boss mechanic. I could see it being really annoying in Elite, but the problem is the underlying issue with Machine is that all like the great boss mechanics, the interesting stuff that we want in raids, like Darkside War Factory, like Paradox, like Batcave, Inner Sanctum, stuff like that, where you want to have real fun boss mechanics, it's overshadowed by the fact that there's so many ads, like Throne, like was it Hades? Ares, whatever. The final boss in Throne, like his neat boss mechanics are overshadowed by the fact that you're getting tons of Totem Masters, tons of ads coming out that would just interfere with everything. So it's not that they need to reduce the ads. They could certainly do that. Maybe keep someone more like the medics and the V-bots and the dive bombers and stuff, and eliminate all the other trash ads. But they need to have a greater focus and potency on the boss mechanics so that you can't just heal through it. You should have to stop what you're doing and focus on the boss mechanics, because you have to watch out for them rather than just kind of DPSing and trusting your healers. Like the tornadoes came out from Raven from the Desecrated Cathedral alert, and yes, I kind of rolled through them. I got stuck a few times in them, but I wasn't really concerned about dying. I don't think anyone else was either in this normal run. We just kind of kept DPSing through it, and that could be fixed in Elite, where it may hit a lot harder, and especially with the no death. I feel like this raid Elite won't be hard from the mechanics. It's not hard mechanics. It's just that the death counter in Elite, if you slip up once, and you could be out from if you slip up once on the ads, that's your death, and next time you're out. So if you slip up on one of the mechanics, like Cyborgs or Beast Boys, are kind of been. I'm not sure Beast Boys did any damage. I think it's more on the tank. It's very similar to like SM. So like Beast Boy, like he's got his bird form. He's got the gorilla. I think he's got like a monkey or something like that. He just spawns a bunch of ads. So I really don't think Beast Boy had any mechanics that are going to hurt the group. There was another one. I can't remember. Was it Starfire? Whatever. It was one of the chicks. It was a fire one. That one got really annoying. You could see at the beginning. It was just like these fireballs. They didn't necessarily do a lot of damage unless I always had a shield up. I didn't pay attention. But you're constantly knocked back. You're constantly pushed back from these fireballs. So once again, it's not so much that you have to watch out for them or block through them. Like at this entire normal raid, I don't think I blocked once. I don't think I blocked. I may have rolled and dodged a few times, but I don't think I was like, oh my god, this mechanic's coming, I need to block. I don't think I ever did that. I jumped over the swirls. I kind of rolled and dodged away from the tornadoes. Maybe I tap blocked once, but that's the issue. It's like an Ultimate Soldier, you had to block the lightning or you're going to get pushed back and die. So there's no danger in these raids of dying. It's just like the massive ads. You could die from the strafing run, but that's about it. So that's what my concern is, that it's going to become very tedious because it's just like, okay, kill a bunch of ads and then, you know, move on, kill the boss a few times. So I think they need to tone down the ads a little bit, increase the potency of the boss mechanics, so we actually have to pay attention and say like, okay, the boss is out now, everyone focus, you know, he's such and such and such. The tornadoes need to be doing more damage if they do anything at all. Maybe they could add Raven's Reflect, just like in the Desecrated Cathedral alert as well. Yeah, I think now at around like the 10-minute mark is when Beast Boy comes out. He traps in this orb that you just move around, just like in like Panny. That's not really doing anything. It didn't do any damage. And then obviously his gorilla. His dog I think was the other one. Dog form, and then the bird form. So it's like Beast Boy was like, okay, spawn some ads. Like wasn't really a worry. The swirls. I forget what Cyborg's mechanic was. Can't remember that off the top of my head. But once again, it was like you see now he's absorbing Cyborg's mechanics. It's like no one in the group's like, okay, gotta watch out for this. It wasn't really a concern at all. So I think they've got a good foundation, but I think they just need to tone it. Like Hive is really straightforward and easy. It's really hard to screw up Hive. Like the second boss mechanic has like some tricks to it that I haven't exactly figured out on the Deathstroke one. But once you do that, it's going to be, you know, brain dead easy. Hive's going to be like the TTBE, and like this raid's going to be like the, you know, the SSR. But SSR is so easy. I think if you're going to have a DLC last as long as they want this one to do, like 5-6 months or whatever, there needs to be one hard raid that like that gives us a little bit of challenge, and it's not just like tedious and mundane each week. And they have the ability to do this. Like I'm sure Elite's going to be legitly hard, but at the same time, we're on test server. I'm missing like 160 skill points. I don't have my right artifacts. I have like lower gear. I don't have the OP items. So we're going to be a lot stronger on live server than we will on test, and we're still beating it. So at least normal. So I think this normal needs to be toned up. I can't speak for Elite yet. I'm sure there's some issues on Elite, but I'm sure the issues are tied specifically to the ad management and not the boss mechanics. But overall, I like the two raids. I like Hive. I should have a video on that later. My first one got corrupted, so I'll have to run another Hive one. But Hive, there's nothing fancy. It's just tank and spank, and that's about it. There's a story mode to it all, I guess. But I like the raids. I like the concept of the raids. I just think they could be doing more. They took the easy way out with Machine. They just added a bunch of ads, put some neat mechanics in, but the mechanics don't really, you know, hurt you. Like even Darkside War Factory regular was still a hard raid. Like Darkside War Factory Elite, yeah, that was like a challenge. That was like, you know, similar to Paradox Wave. Not every group could do that. A lot of groups struggled on it. But even Darkside War Factory regular was still decently hard. It still presented a challenge. Right now, the Machine doesn't really present a challenge. I'm sure Elite's going to be legitly hard, but regular, it seems more just like a damage burn. Like if you've got good DPS, you're not going to have struggle at all. But those are my feelings on this. Hopefully someone will post this on the forums in the testing feedback, and maybe a dev will go through it, because obviously I can't post on the forums. But yeah, in summary, great concept and great foundation to the raid. Like right at the end, you'll see like the 13-minute mark or 13:30. That's when like the Raven tornadoes come out. I'm just kind of watching here. Like, yes, we've got the electric healer popped a shield on us, so that could be helping. But really, I'm going through the tornadoes. And I'm only seeing ticks of like 4 or 5k. No one died at all during that phase. No one died during the swirls and the orbs. The only, like, the 99% of how people died in this raid was the strafe runs and just not paying attention because they're tunnel vision and not watching their surroundings. But that's 99% of the deaths was from strafe run. That's the easiest mechanic to dodge. So you need to tone down the ads, tone down the ads, ramp up the boss mechanics potency, so that we have to focus not on the ads and clearing them. We have to focus on the bosses themselves. Take care, guys.
We have to leave. Terra and the Innovator have compromised the mountain.
I've got this. Titans, we are leaving. Mother Box, take us home.